for today's video, I wanted to show you how to cheaply, inexpensively, and quickly make your own dry shampoo at home. And this is great because you can actually customize it to your hair color. I know that a lot of times dry shampoos are made for like people who have blonder hair or lighter hair, and I spray it onto my roots and I'm like, oh my gosh, I look like I have gray ashy hair. I cannot use this dry shampoo. And I found out how to make my own for my hair color, and I will also talk about blondes and people who have really black hair and how you can make your own too. But it's inexpensive, it's cheap, it can smell delicious, and it's super easy to do with things you already have. So here are the things that I already have, and some people like to use cornstarch in their hair. Basically what a dry shampoo does is make it so that you don't have to wash your hair every day, or if you haven't washed your hair for a couple of days, you can make it look like you just did. It stops the stink, it stops any stink from happening, and helps absorb oil and sweat at your scalp so that your hair looks natural and it looks like you've recently showered and washed your hair even if you haven't. So definitely helpful if you live a busy lifestyle or are trying to maintain your hair and keep it healthy. And some people, like I said, do use cornstarch. I find that it can be a little bit chunky. I like to use Arrowroot personally. I find that it binds to the scalp much better and absorbs the oil much better. And if you're blonde, this is perfect to use just on its own, or cornstarch, because cornstarch is a little bit yellow. If you're blonde, you can just take a powder brush and dip this in and go straight into it and just, you know, get your roots. But depending on your hair color, there are different things you can add that not only make it match you perfectly, but it also smells good. Not to mention when you do it yourself, there aren't any harsh chemicals. So my hair, as you can see, is up in its bun, and I'm gonna take it out because let's say it's been about, today's the end of day 2. So please don't judge me. You shouldn't wash your hair every day anyway, but you can kind of see it's getting a little bit oily at the root. This is not nearly as oily as it could be. So the first thing is that if you are a redhead or have natural little red tinges, or you know, if you have blonde tinges with a little bit of red or strawberry color to your hair, I would recommend using cinnamon or paprika depending on how red your hair is, but it's an all-natural way just to add a little bit of that color. If you have extremely dark or black hair, I would recommend very, very, very finely ground coffee beans or instant coffee that is black. Or if you are like me and have brownish, kind of blondish brownish hair, I would definitely recommend cocoa powder. Not to mention this makes your hair smell like chocolate, this makes your hair smell like coffee, and this makes your hair smell like cinnamon. Amazing. So if you do have naturally blonde hair, I would say just use the Arrowroot on its own. It doesn't smell that great on its own, but it doesn't stink on its own either. So what I like to do is just tap a little bit into a jar, and a little goes a very long way. And next, depending on what color your hair is, you can choose what, you know, what kind of thing you want to add. Hi there. It smells so good, it makes me want to eat it. And so for me, because my hair is pretty dark, I'm going to add probably 2 parts as much. Really just play with it, and you can always add more color later. So start off with a little amount and just mix this in. The Arrowroot is really what gives it those absorbent properties, and then everything else just kind of enhances that. And everything else just kind of adds the color and even enhances that. So this is literally as simple as it is, and it's, oh, hi, got chocolate all over the floor. Don't tell mama. Literally, that's as simple as it is, and it's very inexpensive because I do love dry shampoos, but you can buy them at the store for, hi phone, spoon, you can buy them at the store for how much money? So next, I actually like to take a cosmetic brush. Use one that you're not using anymore or that you don't mind getting dirty and cleaning. I wouldn't put it back on your face after you do your hair though. And all you have to do is section off your hair and apply this just the way you would a normal dry shampoo. So I'm just going to tap this in and not dust off too much of the excess like that, just really tap it in and keep a lot of it on there. Find for my root and just tap this in. And I'm going to tap this kind of right onto the root where it is sticky. You don't want to take it all the way down the hair because that would just cause it, I don't know, it would just be ineffective because it's not soaking up the oil. And you do want to focus, on areas that you are oily most, perhaps by the temples or perhaps by the crown. I get really oily by my crown here at this little bald spot in the back that most people bald in when they're older, including my parents. But just apply this to wherever oil normally collects or wherever you feel like there is quite a bit of that excess. Once you have gotten that onto the root of your hair, you just want to take your fingers and massage it in. So massage it into the scalp, kind of take your fingers and go like this, and just kind of work it through, and even flip your head upside down or something just to kind of get it all in there. And this is also why you want to wear a shirt that you don't super care about, just in case, you know, any of the powder or anything falls off or anything like that. So once you've got that in, your scalp is oil-free and it looks like you have just recently showered, even if you haven't. Not to mention it also gives you volume. Just kind of doing this in general and, you know, applying the powder to your hair helps your roots stand up a little bit more, so your hair can look luscious and amazing. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have other do-it-yourself requests for quick and easy and inexpensive things, let me know. But I hope that this helps you, and I hope that your hair smells like chocolate or cinnamon or coffee sometime in the near future. Love you guys. Bye.